This is a Flying Cow production.
Well, hello, and welcome back to Movie Battles, where we take the very best in Disney, Pixar movie trivia, and we put them head to head here on the Flying Cow. I am your host, Clay Johnson, the Flying Cow himself, and I have here with me today a very special guest. We have the reigning, defending, undefeated, undisputed Disney Pixar Movie Battles champion of the world, Nikki the Nova Baldwin. How are we doing today, Nikki?
Pretty good. I'm glad that you had the wherewithal to allow me to continue to grace the Movie Battles community with my presence.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, this is a long tournament, and nobody can forget about you. You're the champion, so we had to make sure to get you in here to call a match. How does it feel on the other side of the desk?
Ooh, I love the power that comes with it, which I obviously will not abuse in any way. But
Certainly
you know what?
hope
It's
not.
also it's exciting just to kind of get some intel on some of these competitors, who one of which I'm going to be facing at some point, and seeing how they perform in this tournament.
Absolutely, absolutely. So speaking of competitors, we have two today going forward in this first round tournament match. We have the Chartmaster, Hannah Keefer, going up against Stephen the Goof Levin. Promises to be an interesting match.
I would say so for certain. You know, Hannah is a very experienced veteran at this point, having gone up against me twice for the belt. So she has a lot of trivia chops that are going to work in her favor. But Steven, you never know what could happen, where even though he has the loss on his record, we could be driving straight into upset city here, because you just never know with the questions what anyone's going to get on any given day.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, obviously, Stephen pulled, the tough hand here. He's going up against a former tournament finalist, someone who has played for the title twice. And as you said, he's 0-1, but you never know what can happen here. So I'm excited to see what transpires in this match.
Same as well. I'm ready to get going and meet these competitors.
Sounds good. Well, before we introduce today's competitors, I want to go ahead and just give you guys a couple of reminders. First of all, this show, this game, the format is sourced from the Movie Trivia Schmodown. So if you enjoyed this and want to see more, go check them out. Go to theschmodownlive.com and let them know that the cow sent you. And also, do not forget that the Flying Cow is not just movie battles. We're not just on YouTube. We also have a podcast feed. So go over there and check that out for discussions about television and film. It's a lot of fun. And you can find that on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify. And you can always get in contact with us at the Flying Cow Pod on Twitter and Instagram. You can also email us at theflyingcowpod@gmail.com. And if you can't remember all that, it's pretty easy. It's just right on the banner above us. Yeah. All right. Well, what do you say we go ahead and introduce today's competitors? All right. Introducing first, with a record of 0 wins, 1 defeat, he is Stephen the Goof Levin. How we doing today, Steven?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to see you back here. I'm glad that your last appearance didn't scare you away.
Nope,
hoping
never.
to see much more from you today.
Yeah, so last time I was on, I'm honored and privileged to be the first person to ever get knocked out in Disney trivia.
It's true.
But
it's a distinction.
Right. At that time, my first time playing, I didn't really know what kind of questions would be asked, maybe. Didn't really know too much about the categories. I played on short notice. Now I've been studying. I've been like rewatching Disney stuff. I think I'm a step above where I was last time.
All right.
But now that I know I'm playing against the former tournament champion, thanks, guys.
I was gonna say,
I'm
Steven,
good now. I'm ready.
No,
Good.
that's awesome, Steven. I was gonna say, it sounds like your loss really propelled you to digging into the archives of Disney film and just gave you a better sense of how to map out your studying and how to prepare for this. So it sounds like a lot of that has like really motivated and pushed you and giving you a sense of confidence going into this.
I don't know about confidence, but yeah, I think I'm more ready than I was last time. So
All right.
Good.
Well, I am excited to see what you're going to do here today, Steven. So what do you say we go ahead and bring in your competitor and his opponent? Representing the list makers of the world, with a record of 2 wins, 2 defeats, and 1 knockout. She is a former tournament finalist. She is the Chartmaster, Hannah Keefer.
Hello. Excited to be back.
Absolutely. It's great to have you back, Hannah. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I'm taking kind of a different approach this time. The last match I was in, I buckled down and I studied hard and I went and watched all these Disney movies I hadn't seen before. And then absolutely nothing that I studied came up in the final. And so there was a moment of like, oh, so I'm going back. I'm going to be leaning on luck. I have done no additional studying other than remembering, playing along with the matches that I've seen and competing in that way. But I have not gone way to be doing anything else, because you know what, I'm gonna trust that what I need is gonna hold on to me. But it might mean that Steven has an advantage over me in that sense. Maybe his studying will pull him ahead, and the Disney trivia that I have sitting still just in my brain might not be enough today, but we will find out.
Absolutely. I mean, I will say, I think there are different forms of studying. Obviously, watching movies, looking things up on IMDb or Wikipedia is one form of studying, but also watching matches, playing along, learning things you didn't know before, I think is also another form of studying, because learning one thing can often lead you to another and leads you to another and leads you to another. And before you know it, you're studying without realizing it.
Yeah. So we'll see if that's enough.
And I was going to say, I mean, even because you never know what kind of questions you're going to get, which I think is fair to say we are both keenly aware of at this point. So we should say that's something that you pursued before a previous match maybe comes up this time around. So you just never know with the questions.
It's true.
Absolutely. That's what I'm hoping.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring Steven back in. All right. There he is. So let us go ahead and bring up the rules of round number 1. All right. So the rules for round number 1 are as follows. 8 questions from random categories will be given to all competitors. Competitors will have 15 seconds to write down their response. All questions in this round are worth 1 point. If either competitor gets all 8 questions correct, they will receive a 1-point bonus question. Competitors also have 3 repeats that they can use at any point throughout the match. If you just want to double check something in the question, or you just need a little bit more time, use those repeats. Also, each competitor has a challenge that they can use if they disagree with any ruling. If your challenge is upheld, then you will keep your challenge. There is no stealing in this round. Do we have any questions going into round number 1?
Nope, I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, if our competitors are ready. All right. And Nikki, are you ready?
I'm as ready as I am to get more belt polish.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I feel ready for a movie battle. Action begin. In round number 1, question number 1, in the category of early classics. These are the films of the 30s and the early 40s. And your question. In Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where do the dwarves work all day?
Where would you like to work if you had the choice of anywhere?
Oh, if I had the choice, I'd do stuff like this all day. Just
I concur.
Just this. Yeah.
More Disney all day.
Yeah. There you go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, Steven, we are going to start with you, sir.
In the mine.
In the mine. In the mine is correct. And Hannah.
I also said mine. Where my camera is, right there. There we go. And I was going to sing that as well, but you took that from me.
I'm sorry. I mean, you can join in. I don't mind a duet.
Where a billion diamonds.
It's okay. Blame play for everything. I do it already.
It's true. It's true. All right. So they are currently tied going into question number 2.
All right, guys, for question number 2, in the category of the Renaissance, which are the films that are mostly in the 90s, who provided the voice of the villainous Hades in Hercules? So I don't know if this is a hot take. Might be my favorite Disney villain.
Really? I mean, I will say I definitely enjoy his snark.
Yes, I like the way that he's like, he gets fired up, but he's also very sassy.
Yeah.
So he's got that going for him.
It's true. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, starting with Hannah.
I went with James Woods.
That is correct. And Steven.
I double guessed myself, but in the end, James Wood.
All right. Hey,
All right.
sometimes you got to think it over a little bit and it pays off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they are still tied going into question number 3. And that is in the category of dark times. These are the films of the 2000s. And the question. At the beginning of Meet the Robinsons, where does Lewis live?
I currently live in a place that is extraordinarily hot during summer, but I think that's a lot of places right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I live in an apartment in Atlanta. Not fun right now.
And I'm in an apartment in Florida.
Oh,
Gotta love the humidity.
yeah. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Pens down. Steven, we are starting with you, sir.
The one movie I didn't actually research. I just put cave. That's probably wrong.
Yeah, no. Lewis is not a cave dweller, unfortunately. Hannah, what about you?
I went with an orphanage.
Orphanage is correct. Yeah, I mean, I will say, if Lewis lived in a cave, it would be a much different film.
I haven't seen that movie since the early 2000s.
I had a moment of panic that I was supposed to remember the town he was in. And I was like,
Yeah.
no.
No, you got exactly what we were looking for. Yeah. All right. So Hannah currently has a 1-point lead, 3-2 going into question number 4.
A 1-point game, but still early on and keeping it tight. So going to question number 4 in a category that I think is okay. Pixar.
Yeah.
In Monsters, Inc., What is the name of the large hairy monster voiced by John Goodman?
Yeah, I think you've seen a couple of these films.
Yeah,
One or two.
a few. They're okay. They kind of drag a little bit sometimes.
All right. And we're going to get those answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, starting with Hannah.
Pixar was my nemesis last time, but I know this one. It's Sully.
Sully is correct, and Steven.
I also was silly. I just forgot the E.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
So he goes by Sully. We also have accepted his full name, James P. Sullivan. But you are both correct.
Absolutely. All right. So Hannah still maintains her 1-point lead going into question number 5, which is in the category of the decline and wilderness. These are, of course, the films of the 60s through the 80s. And your question. In Oliver and Company, what acclaimed actress and singer provides the voice of prize-winning poodle Georgette?
An actress and singer. I wish I could just do one of them. I'm bereft of that kind of talent, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an actor and I can sing, but nobody knows much about me, so you know.
Maybe this answer could help you one day.
Yeah, maybe. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, and Steven, we are starting with you, sir.
Yeah, I just put Joan Jett, but I know it's probably wrong.
That would be awesome, though.
I was about to say it would be a much different role, but that is unfortunately correct or incorrect. Unfortunately correct? No, unfortunately incorrect. Going to Hannah. Did you have it?
I'm not as certain about this, but I'm going to guess Bette Midler.
Bette Midler is correct for 1.
I would have never guessed that.
I haven't seen Oliver and Company, so I was just.
Oh, wow. Then that is quite a pull.
Hoping I knew
I almost
that.
went with Cyndi Lauper for a minute.
Oh.
Also would have been very interesting.
Be great too.
I will say after that, Hannah not only has widened her lead to a 2-point lead, 5-3, but she is also still perfect going into question number 6.
All right, going into question number 6, we have everyone's favorite category, the package films. These are the films from the 40s. And your question is, which package film features the opening segment, Lake Titicaca?
Package films are always interesting to see what they know.
Because if you add up all those different segments, they kind of just meld together after a certain point.
Certainly can. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, starting with Hannah.
I'm guessing Saludos Amigos.
That is correct. And Steven.
I will make my music.
Incorrect, but
So close.
There's so many segments. It's always hard to keep
package
track
films
of.
for something.
It's true.
Get
All
something
right.
out of them.
So
No.
Hannah now has a 3-point lead, 6-3, and she is still perfect in round number 1. We'll have to see if she can keep that up. Going into question number 7 in the category of classics. These are the films of the 1950s. And your question: pirates, mermaids, and a racist stereotype of indigenous people can be found in what film? I believe in calling it like it is.
Not a place I'm sure if I want to go to.
Right.
There are some songs that could be cut.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The
Yeah.
pirates sound fun though.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this movie is great. It's just that it's like really in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And Steven, we are going to start with you.
I think I could fly, Peter Pan.
All right,
you
nice
can.
reference. And Hannah,
A problematic favorite, Peter Pan.
that it is. That it is. A song that I don't even want to mention the title to. Yeah. But Hannah maintains her perfect streak going into the final question. She leads Stephen 7-4.
All right, so going into your 8th and final question, possibly for this round, unless there is a bonus question, is in the category of the CG revolution. These are films from the 2010s. Entangled, aside from her hair, what uncommon weapon does Rapunzel use to protect herself? I wish I could protect myself with my hair, but that sounds like a lot of maintenance, though.
See,
just because mine already isn't that long, but maintenance.
See, that's the thing. It sounds cool until you have to actually comb all of that hair. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, starting with Hannah for the perfect round.
We'll see. I believe it's a frying pan.
And there you go. And Stephen.
And I just got more right than last time. Frying pan.
And you're
Absolutely.
correct. Very solid job by Stephen as well.
Yeah, and in fact, I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, Stephen, but you actually just scored more points than you did your entire last game. You're
Perfect.
currently
That's stunning. Paid off.
5 points to Hannah's 8. She's only got a 3-point lead right now, but she is going to get a chance at that bonus question and try to widen that gap. So
My
let us
first
see.
Perfect round 1. Woo, I'm excited.
No, that's right. You've never gotten
Yeah.
a perfect round 1. Well, Hannah, here's the deal. Because you are the only one answering this question, you do not need to write down your answer. You can just answer outright when you are ready.
Awesome.
Okay. And your bonus question in the category of bonus. What shape is the door to Christmas Town in The Nightmare Before Christmas?
It's a good question. I'm going to guess it is, I don't remember. I'm going to guess it's the shape of a Christmas tree.
That is correct. So Hannah gets her bonus question. She currently leads 9-5. So she has a 4-point lead over Stephen going into round number 2. And in round number 2, also known as the wheel round, each competitor will spin the wheel up to 2 times. If you do not like your first category, you have the option to spin again. However, if you land on opponent's choice at any point, your turn is over and you are stuck with that. Competitors will have 4 questions from that category. Questions are worth 2 points in this round. Multiple choice is also available. However, if you go to multiple choice, the value of the question drops to 1. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. Opponents may steal if a competitor gives an incorrect response. Repeats and challenges are still in effect in this round. Do we have any questions going into round number 2?
Nope.
All right. Then, Hannah, you have a choice to make. You are currently in the lead going into round number 2. So would you like to spin first, or would you like to defer to Stephen?
I think I'll defer to Stephen this time.
All right. So, Stephen, you are going to get the opportunity to spin first. So let me bring up the wheel for you. Do you see the wheel, Stephen?
I do.
All right. Then, Stephen, this spin is for you.
There it goes.
All right. There it goes. And it has landed on John and Alan. These are the films of the roles of John Ratzenberger and Alan Tudyk. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
Let's see. So I've been studying a little bit up on them.
Sure.
I don't know what I'm good at, what I'm bad. You know what? I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna keep it. We'll see how I do.
Keep it. All
Yeah,
right.
I got multiple
So
choices. This should be good.
all right. So Stephen has opted to keep the category of John and Alan. So we are going to be asking him 4 questions in the category of John and Alan. So Stephen is going to receive 4 questions in the category of John and Alan. And Stephen, I will be reading these questions for you. All right. So starting with question number 1 in the category of John and Alan. Question number 1 is, in Wreck-It Ralph, what was the original identity of Alan Tudyk's King Candy?
You know what? Let me do multiple choice on that one.
All right, multiple choice. And your options are, is it A, Turbo, B, Speedy, C, the Rapid Racer, or D, Racer X?
Okay. I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark and say B as in boy. Final answer.
B, Speedy, is incorrect. So Hannah, you will have the opportunity to steal for 1 point. Let me repeat the question and the options for you. The question is, in Wreck-It Ralph, what was the original identity of Alan Tudyk's King Candy? Was it A, Turbo, B, Speedy, C, the Rapid Racer, or D, Racer X?
I'm going to say A, Turbo.
A, Turbo is correct for a 1-point steal. All right. So going back to Stephen. Stephen, your second question in John and Alan. Which film marks the first appearance of Ham's evil alter ego, Dr. Porkchop?
I'm gonna say Toy Story Part 2.
Toy Story 2 is correct for 2
Wow.
points.
That even surprised me.
All right. All right. So that gives Stephen 2 points, 2 more points going into question number 3, your penultimate question in this round. And that question, not counting archive recordings, how many new characters does Alan Tudyk play in Frozen 2?
Multiple choice is gonna help me because it's gonna be one or the other. I'm gonna just take a guess and say 3.
Good guess. That is correct for 2 points. All right. So Stephen guessing and multiple choicing his way into a decent round here. You are currently down by 1. If you get this with 2 points, then you will have a 1-point lead over Hannah. All right. And your final question in this round. In Monsters University, where do we see John Ratzenberger's Yeti character?
I know the Okay, I'll do multiple choice for this one.
Okay. All right. Multiple choice. Those options are: is it A, as a Monster University's teacher? B, as Monsters Inc. scarer? C, as a Monsters University student? Or D, in the Monsters Inc. mailroom?
I'm gonna say in the mailroom.
In the mailroom is correct for 1 point. So currently, after Steven's round 2, he is tied with Hannah. So we will have to see what happens with Hannah's wheel spin. So let's go ahead.
Anything could happen here.
I was gonna say, absolutely, it's tied now, but definitely huge props to Steven. He navigated that round really well. When he wasn't sure, he cut down to multiple choice to negate the number of points he could get. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. Yeah. And good luck. That guess that never hurts either.
There were several where you were going, I was like, I don't know the answer. What would I guess if he gets it wrong? And then you would get it. So I didn't have a lot of opportunities to steal. Nicely done.
All right. So let us go ahead and take a look at what Hannah is going to spin. So Hannah, this spin is for you. And you have landed on princesses. Would you like to keep it or would you like to spin again?
I think I have a pretty decent grasp on most of the princess movies. Let's go ahead and keep it.
All right.
Might be a little bit of a gamble, but let's do it.
Sure. All right. So all right. So we are going to bring up 4 questions in the category of princesses for Hannah. And wouldn't you know it, these questions are going to be read to you by your sworn enemy, Nikki the Nova Baldwin.
Also, as royalty of this league, I think it's only appropriate that I read about the princesses. Alrighty. For your first question, Hannah, in the category of princesses, Lea Salonga provides the singing voice for which 2 Disney princesses?
That is Mulan and Jasmine.
She is a phenomenal stage actress, and that is correct.
I love her so much.
She's an amazing Fontina Nepomene.
Oh, I bet.
All right. I could geek out all day.
Oh yeah,
we will move
geek out
on.
about Lea Salonga all day.
For your second question, what Marvel and Star Wars television actor provided the voice of Mulan?
I believe that was Ming-Na Wen.
Correct, for 2 more points. For your third and penultimate question in princesses, during the princess scene in Ralph Breaks the Internet, what does Princess Aurora's comfy shirt say?
I'm going to need multiple choice on this one.
All right, so for your multiple choice options, they are A, Briar Rose, B, Dream Goals, C, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. No, I apologize. Flora, Fauna, Merryweather, or D, Nap Queen.
Let's go with D, Nap Queen.
For 1 point, that's correct.
Between that and Dream Goals.
I would have shirts that would read both of them. Those are both excellent.
Oh yeah.
All right. For your final question in the category of princesses, what was Scuttle's word for the item that Ariel uses on her hair?
Make sure I'm getting this correct. I'm gonna go for multiple choice. It's been a little bit since I remember this, and I can't remember if there are multiple words.
Not a problem. Your multiple choice options are A, Snarflack, B, Thingamabob, C, Whatchamawhoozit, or D, Dinglehopper.
D, Dinglehopper.
Thank you for not asking me to repeat those. That is correct for 1 point.
All right. So Hannah does very well in that round, getting all questions correct, playing it safe on a couple, going to multiple choice. She currently leads Stephen 16-10. But here's the good news, Stephen. You're definitely going into round number 3. So let us go ahead and bring up the rules for round number 3. All right. In round number 3, competitors will pick 3 numbers ranging from 1 to 20 that correspond to 3 random categories. Each competitor will get 3 questions. Questions in this round are worth 2, 3, and 5 points, respectively. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. There will be no stealing or multiple choice in this round. Repeats and challenges are still in effect. Do we have any questions going into round number 3?
Nope.
All right, then Hannah, because you are currently in the lead, you get the chance to answer not to answer, but to pick your numbers first. What 3 numbers sound good?
I'm gonna pick 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and not 123. No, we don't have that number. 1, 2, and 3.
Is
All
that
right.
breaking your thing, asking for 1 and 2 and 3?
No, my typing skills are breaking.
Okay.
All right. So Stephen, what 3 numbers would you like, sir?
I'll go the opposite. I'll do 18, 19, 20.
All right, 18, 19, and 20. All right. So, Stephen, since you are currently down by 6, you are going to need to get the majority of these questions right in order to avoid the TKO and send it to Hannah to force her to answer one of her questions. All right.
No pressure.
Yeah, no, it's just we're having a good time. We're just chilling out. This isn't a tournament. We're just friends. We're
all
hanging
good.
out. That's all it is. All right. So we're going to start with your 2-point question. You chose the number 18. That relates to the category of the wilderness. And your question for 2 points. What film was based on the children's book Basil of Baker Street?
I'm going to take, let's repeat it.
All right, so that is your first repeat. And the question: what film was based on the children's book Basil of Baker Street?
I'm going to take a shot in the dark. I'm going to just say The Fox and the Hound.
Fox and the Hound is incorrect. The correct answer we were looking for was The Great Mouse Detective.
Oh, okay.
All
I
right.
completely forgot that existed.
All right. So,
No worries.
all right. So, I will say you missed that too. That's fine. But if you miss any more questions, then Hannah will win the game. All right.
Okay.
So moving on to your 3-point question. In the category, you chose number 19, and that relates to the category of scores and soundtracks.
Okay.
All right. So your 3-point question to avoid the TKO. Which famous composer's Sleeping Beauty ballet was used as the basis of the film's score?
Not sure if this is correct or not, but the only thing that's coming to mind around that time error, I'm just going to go with, and Hannah, if I'm wrong, congratulations, but I'm going to say the Sherman Brothers.
And your winner, the Chartmaster, Hannah Keefer. The correct answer we were looking for is Tchaikovsky.
Oh, I would have never got that.
Tchaikovsky, yeah.
All the repeats in the world, never.
All right. Well, you guys can go ahead and turn off your cameras, and we will bring you back in just a second for interviews. Well, there you go. I mean, I will say hats off to Steven. He was able to make it into the third round, got, 10 points, and just unfortunately got into a third round with questions that were a little beyond his depth.
Honestly, I do want to give him just all the credit in the world, where he had a rough outing in his first match, and just the level he reached in this one was honestly, like, I just want to give him so much props for that, because he did so incredibly well in, like, with navigating the game, with going to multiple choice when he wasn't positive, cutting down on those potential steals, and using the repeat when he thought he could just get to it. It didn't quite work out, but Hannah was also just unstoppable in this match. She answered, she had 100% accuracy, so that would have definitely been a tough hill to climb, but absolutely congratulations to her as well.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and bring Steven on in here. Steven, the Goof, Levin, unfortunately not getting the win today, but definitely showed that he has made quite a bit of progress, getting more than double the amount of points that you got in your first game. How you feeling, Steven?
I'm doing good. I'm happy. I'm actually really proud of myself for, like, all I want to do is make it to the third round, and I did it, and I'm good.
Yeah, you did. You made it to the third round. You even made it to the second question in the third round. Just unfortunately, neither one of those. Were you anywhere close on your 2-pointer? I mean, I know you ended up taking a stab in the dark, but did you consider The Great Mouse Detective, or was it just not in your brain?
Honestly, I didn't even think of The Great Mouse Detective. Like, when I was doing all my research, I was looking at Fox and Hand and Oliver and Company. I completely overlooked Meet the Robinsons and The Great Mouse Detective. Yeah, so
yeah. Honestly, like, we all have blind spots. I certainly have had them before, so no judgment whatsoever. And again, just massive props just for your performance and what you achieved today. And I hope this doesn't ward you off from coming on in the future, because I'd love to see you back again, see what else.
Yeah, I could lose every other match. I'd still be back just to play and have fun. That's all about.
That's the best attitude to have. I really appreciate that. And
I will say that type of attitude makes us want to bring you back. So I really appreciate that. It's been great fun having you. I will say, this is unfortunately the end of your season. You are out of the tournament, but looking forward to next season. Is there anybody that you've got your eye on? Anybody that you think, you know what? I might have a chance against them, or just somebody you'd like to challenge yourself against?
Anybody, just bring it. Anybody and everybody.
All right, we'll give you a match with Nikki. How's that?
Oh, I'm down. Title on the line? I'm good.
Yeah, sure.
I have no problem with that. Like even just for fun.
Exactly. I'm down.
All right. Well, I got to say, Steven, it's been great having you. Definitely looking forward to what you've got going on in the future.
Thank you. I'll be back.
All right. I'll hold you to that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Well, what do you say we go ahead and bring in today's winner, the Chartmaster herself, Hannah Keefer. Hannah, you're back. You've broken. You're no longer 500. You're back with a winning record.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. My first perfect round. I felt really good about my wheel round. Princesses worked real well for me.
Yeah.
I think I've accidentally just enforced in my brain that not not studying anything is the way to go. It's bringing me back
I
to
was
my
gonna
college days.
as I was telling Clay earlier, you answered everything with 100% accuracy. You didn't miss any questions. You
Nope.
only dropped down to multiple choice twice, but you were able to pull the answers. Clearly, like you, aside from t-shirt slogans, you like knew everything immediately.
Yeah, and that even counts your steal.
Yeah.
You know, that you were able to get. So yeah, I mean,
And some of those did come from things that I rewatched Wreck-It Ralph. Otherwise, I would never have gotten that. So last time I rewatched Wreck-It Ralph and it paid off this time.
Yeah.
Last time I watched Saludos Amigos and it paid off this time. So
It's true.
some of that is lingering.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad that some of that is paying off.
Mhm.
So going forward, you you've won. You're going into round number 2.
Mhm.
And I believe your opponent in that match is going to be the philosopher Kevin Poss. Now I don't know if you've seen his match, but you know, he's done pretty well. Knocked out his first opponent, you know, TKO. So how you feeling going into that match?
Well, I there's a part of me that's like, oh, do so well about that, but I'm still feeling pretty good. I feel like I'm still gonna have fun with it and go for it. And it really all comes down to, in a lot of times, it comes down to the luck of the questions. And are you getting something? Because we're all on here because we love Disney and Pixar, and we all have our niches and our spots that we know everything about, and our niches that we maybe are less knowledgeable about. And so if luck is on my side, I'll get stuff that I know, that I can recall from the hours of watching it in my childhood, or from recent viewings. And so I'm just gonna let that go. I'm not gonna put any more extra pressure on myself to study. I seem to have done okay for now. I just hope that that it'll be as fun a battle as this was for Steven. I love playing up against Steven, and I'd love to see him go for it even when he didn't know what the question was where the question was going. And so I think it'll be good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I gotta say, Hannah, we're definitely looking forward to seeing what you do in this tournament. I will say, we recently had a tournament special where we talked about who we thought, you know, might do something in this tournament. And 2 out of the 3 people on the panel actually picked you to win this tournament. What do you think about that?
That's a lot of pressure. Whew. We'll have to see. Now they may have said that before hearing my new strategy of I'm not going to try to learn anything new, so they might want to walk that back. But I mean, I think it, you know, I've you know, not to be like, oh, I don't think I'm hyping anything up when I say that I've got a good track record. You know, I was up for I was a finalist twice, and went through everything pretty well. So I think I think I'm a pretty good bet for that. But you never know what's gonna come my way to trip me up. So we'll see. I would bet on me too, but I would understand if it didn't work.
I was gonna say, as your nemesis,
Yes,
someone might call you, you have the experience of running through an entire tournament, and more importantly, being in a high pressure 5-round match, which is something you have. It's 2 no less, which is something you have over everyone else in this tournament. So the odds are definitely stacked in your favor. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, whatever happens, I am looking forward to see how you do in this tournament overall. And it's going to be exciting. That's for sure. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And with that, that is the match.
Whew, that was quite a whirlwind. Honestly, 2 really solid performances. It fell Hannah's way for sure, but again, it can't be overstated what Steven accomplished in this. Excited to see how Hannah progresses in the tournament and when he makes his return for next season.
Yeah, it's definitely some promising things happening here. Can't wait to see the rest of this first round of the tournament, the second round. You know, there's going to be some great matches in store. How did you feel your first match on the desk?
Whew. Well, it was a lot of power that
Don't
I
let
did
it go
not
to your
hear.
head.
No, not at all. Like not like the belt or anything is by my bedside day in and day out or anything. But this was a lot of fun, and especially when you have two great competitors like these to call to ask questions to. It is an awesome experience, and thank you for having me on, Clay.
Yeah, absolutely. It has been great having you. Well, moving forward, like I said, we've got lots more tournament matches, lots more to see. So stay here, stay watching, and remember, move.
Moo.